This is Eastern Europe in 1919, and in the wake of the First World War, as Winston Churchill put it, the War of the Giants has ended, the War of the Pygmies has begun. Basically, part of the result of the First World War was the collapse of the Austro-Hungarian, German, and Russian Empire. This resulted in many ethnic groups fighting for their independence. Among them were the Polish. After 3 partitions of Poland, which ended in 1795, Poland had ceased to be an independent state. This changed with the Greater Poland Uprising of 1918 to 1919. This would successfully establish Poland in Europe. However, its existence was immediately threatened by its neighbor, Soviet Russia. Embroiled in a massive civil war against the non-communists, otherwise known as White Russians, Soviet Russia was also engaged in several wars against several countries that had declared independence in the chaos of the Russian Civil War. Many Soviet officials saw Poland as the bridge that would be essential to spread communism to the rest of Europe. At the same time, Polish Chief of State Józef Pilsudski wished to create a
Międzymorze.
federation of independent states. This federation would consist of several countries, such as Lithuania, and importantly, Ukraine. Pilsudski saw the establishment of an independent Ukraine to be the only guarantee of an independent Poland. There was also a great dispute on where the border between Poland and the Soviet Union actually was. All of these factors boiled over into armed conflict on February 14, 1919. The Soviets also invaded the Baltics at the same time and initially successfully advanced westward. However, the Soviets overextended their lines, and poor supply as well as poor organization among the Soviet troops led to their forces being stopped and eventually pushed back. By August, the Polish had captured the important city of Minsk and had reached the Daugava and Brazina rivers. In large part, this early success was due to the White Russians launching a massive offensive against the Soviets at the same time. By late April of 1920, Pilsudski would launch a Polish offensive with the key objective of capturing the city of Kiev. While the offensive was successful, and Kiev was captured, it served as a rally for the Soviet people, and Russian army leader Mikhail Tukhachevsky would launch his own counteroffensive soon after. This Soviet offensive was a stunning success, and by August of 1920, the Soviet forces had reached the Vistula River on the outskirts of the Polish capital of Warsaw. Tukhachevsky knew the importance of capturing the Polish capital, and on the eve of battle he called for reinforcements from Joseph Stalin, who was commanding troops in the south of Poland. However, Stalin disobeyed and instead attacked the city of Lvov. Due to this, and lack of communication between Soviet command and the Northern Army Group, the attack on Warsaw would fail. This would be remembered as the miracle on the Vistula, and after this crushing defeat, the Soviet forces would be swiftly driven back by the Polish army. By this point, both sides were exhausted and pressured by the West in the League of Nations for peace. An armistice was signed on October 12th, and peace would be concluded on March 18th, 1921. In this peace deal, Poland would gain a large amount of territory in Eastern Europe. However, Pilsudski would be extremely unhappy with this. This is because no independent Ukraine had been established, and these new territories were largely indefensible and lacking economic development. For the Soviets, this was a huge humiliation to the new government, and one that would be the catalyst for conflict less than 20 years later.